There comes a moment when the fog that's been clouding your mind starts to lift. It's subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, like the way sunlight slowly creeps across a room before it fills it completely. You've been walking through life half blind, unsure which step to take next, burdened by indecision and questions that seem impossible to answer. Then, suddenly, a single thought, a single realization hits you. It's as if your mind has been rearranged while you were distracted, and everything that once seemed chaotic now fits together perfectly. This is the moment of sudden clarity, and it's the universe's way of whispering, "You are ready." When clarity arrives, it feels almost electric. Your vision sharpens, and things you struggled to understand for months or even years become crystal clear. People, circumstances, past decisions that once made no sense now fall into a logical pattern. The mistakes you thought were failures now appear as stepping stones. You start to see the direction you've been avoiding because fear held you back. It's not just insight, it's an awakening. And in that awakening, you realize that the next phase of your life has been waiting for you all along, quietly preparing its arrival. This clarity doesn't always come in grand moments. Sometimes it's quiet, like a small voice nudging you in the right direction. Other times it's sudden and overwhelming, a jolt that feels almost too intense to handle. You might notice it in the decisions that suddenly seem obvious, in the choices that no longer carry the weight of doubt. It's the universe cutting through the noise and showing you the path you were always meant to walk. And once you feel it, once you recognize it, you can't unsee it. The shift is irreversible. You've crossed an invisible threshold, and life is poised to accelerate. At this moment, resistance is futile. You may have spent years pushing against the current, trying to force progress or control outcomes that weren't yours to control. Suddenly, with clarity, you understand that force isn't required. The answers were never hidden. They were simply waiting for your mind to quiet enough to notice them. The sudden clarity you experience is not just a revelation, it's a permission slip. It's the universe giving you the green light, signaling that it's safe to trust yourself, to trust the process, and to move forward without hesitation. The beauty of this clarity is that it also brings confidence. When confusion disappears, so does the fear of making the wrong move. Decisions that once paralyzed you now feel natural. You understand which opportunities deserve your energy and which do not. The path ahead may still have obstacles, but now you see them as temporary, solvable, and even necessary. The fear that once gripped you is replaced by a sense of inevitability, a quiet knowing that the momentum is coming and you are ready to receive it. What makes this moment extraordinary is its timing. It doesn't come before you feel completely prepared. It comes exactly when you need it. Just before your life begins to move fast, clarity appears, like a lighthouse shining over turbulent waters, guiding you to the shore. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. The pieces of your life, once scattered, are coming together. And when you act on this clarity, when you follow its guidance, you'll realize that the momentum you've been waiting for has been quietly building. Life is about to shift, and you now see the direction it has been nudging you toward all along. Life has a way of moving quietly before it moves quickly. There are doors that open without fanfare, doors you didn't even know existed, revealing opportunities that feel like they were placed there just for you. You may have been standing in the same place for months, feeling stuck, watching others advance while your own life seemed paused. Then, without warning, an email arrives, a conversation begins, or a chance encounter shifts your perspective entirely. These doors don't scream for attention. They whisper, inviting you to step forward and trust that what lies beyond is meant for you. The key is noticing them and being willing to walk through. The remarkable thing about these openings is that they often appear when you least expect them, in ways that seem coincidental until you realize the pattern. A friend you haven't spoken to in years suddenly reaches out. A job, project, or opportunity presents itself in an unconventional way. It may even feel inconvenient at first, testing your patience, your courage, your willingness to step into the unknown. But the universe rarely presents what you need in the obvious form. The subtle nature of these doors ensures that only those ready to embrace change will pass through, and that readiness comes from the clarity you've already gained. Many people wait for dramatic signs, assuming that opportunities will be loud, impossible to ignore. Yet life doesn't always operate that way. Most of the time, doors open softly, as if testing your attention, asking if you're truly prepared to move forward. If you are too focused on what's not happening, too absorbed in fear or doubt, you'll miss these openings entirely. But if your mind is awake, if your intuition is tuned in, these quiet doors reveal themselves as unmistakable signals. They are subtle confirmations that momentum is building, that change is on the horizon, and that the next chapter of your life is closer than you realize. Walking through these doors requires courage. Even when the path isn't fully clear, the unknown is always intimidating. But these openings are opportunities disguised as challenges. They invite you to expand, to stretch beyond comfort, and to trust that life is aligning in your favor. Every hesitation, every second spent doubting risks missing the perfect timing, and timing matters more than effort. The doors that appear quietly are aligned with the rhythm of your life, and stepping through them is often the first real act that sets acceleration into motion. There's a certain beauty in realizing that life orchestrates these openings with precision. What may feel random is actually the convergence of preparation, clarity, and timing. You've cultivated the skills, mindset, and awareness necessary to recognize and utilize these opportunities. The universe doesn't rush. It waits until you're ready to receive. And when you finally step through, the path ahead becomes clearer, faster, and more exhilarating than you ever imagined. The quiet door was never a mistake. It was a signal that momentum was building behind the scenes, and your time has come. Finally, these doors serve as a reminder that life is always moving, even when it feels still. While you've been preparing, learning, and waiting, the universe has been quietly aligning circumstances in your favor. What appears as a small opening can be the catalyst for a chain reaction, a single step that sets everything else into motion. The key is noticing them, trusting the timing, and acting without overthinking. These doors are your invitation to participate fully in the life that is already waiting for you. And once you step through, you'll realize that the quiet beginnings were always the most powerful. Life has a way of orchestrating encounters that seem too precise to be random. People show up at exactly the right moment. Circumstances fall into place in ways that feel like they were scripted by some unseen hand. You might notice it in conversations that shift your perspective, in a new mentor who appears just when guidance is needed, or in a friendship that suddenly deepens into something transformative. These alignments are subtle at first, easily dismissed as coincidence, but when you pay attention, you realize that life is moving on your behalf. It's a quiet signal that momentum is coming, that the world is ready to support your next chapter. When situations align perfectly, it can feel almost magical. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable suddenly find solutions. Opportunities that were hidden in the past now reveal themselves without struggle. The right people cross your path at the right time, bringing resources, insight, and encouragement that you didn't even know you needed. These moments are not accidents. They are the universe's way of ensuring that when the speed of life accelerates, you are ready to move forward with the right support. Alignment is proof that you are no longer moving alone, that the world is conspiring in your favor. It's important to recognize that alignment doesn't always feel convenient. People and circumstances may appear in unexpected ways, challenging your assumptions or pushing you beyond your comfort zone. A mentor may ask something of you you hadn't anticipated. A friend may offer help that requires vulnerability. Even situations that seem uncomfortable at first are part of a larger design. The alignment is never random. It's purposeful, and it asks you to be aware, flexible, and willing to step into the flow. The more you resist, the more you miss the pattern that is forming quietly around you. There is also a subtle sense of inevitability in alignment. Once the pieces start falling into place, you feel it in your body, your mind, and your intuition. Decisions become clearer, relationships become more meaningful, and your focus sharpens. You can sense the energy around you shifting, preparing you for the acceleration that is coming. Life stops feeling like a series of random events and starts to feel like a carefully choreographed journey, where every meeting, every conversation, and every challenge serves a purpose. Recognizing this alignment is a signal that change is near, and it's up to you to step forward and participate. When people and situations align, trust becomes essential. You cannot control every element, nor should you try. Your role is to notice, respond, and act in alignment with what is presented to you. This is not about forcing outcomes or trying to orchestrate events. It's about moving in harmony with what life is already offering. The beauty of this alignment is that it amplifies your own efforts. What you could never achieve alone becomes possible because the right people and the right circumstances are now on your side. The timing is perfect, even if it doesn't feel so in the moment. Finally, alignment is a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. Life is not chaotic, it is purposeful, and the people and situations entering your world are proof of that. The connections you are forming and the opportunities presenting themselves are signposts pointing toward your next breakthrough. Pay attention to the synchronicities, honor the encounters, and embrace the flow. When you do, you'll find that doors open faster, choices become easier, and the momentum you've been waiting for begins to sweep you forward. Alignment is not just a hint. It is a herald of the fast-moving life that is about to unfold. There's a moment when stillness stops feeling comfortable, when waiting begins to feel heavier than action. A restless energy builds inside, an undeniable urge that pushes you forward even when the path isn't clear. It's subtle at first, like a quiet tension under your skin, a whisper telling you that now is the time to act. Then it grows, persistent and insistent until you can no longer ignore it. This is the universe signaling through your own instincts. Your inner self is aligning with what is coming, preparing you to move into a pace that matches the momentum already building around you. This urge is not impatience. It is purpose taking form within you. You may feel anxious, energized, even overwhelmed, but it is a vital force. It is the pulse of life reminding you that preparation has ended and action is required. Suddenly, the small steps that once seemed sufficient no longer satisfy you. You feel drawn toward larger choices, more meaningful interactions, and opportunities that challenge and expand you. The energy surging inside is a signal that life is about to accelerate, and it is your responsibility to honor it rather than resist it. When this urge hits, you may notice that your focus shifts almost involuntarily. Thoughts, ideas, and plans that once seemed abstract now demand attention. You begin to prioritize instinctively, sensing which steps will matter and which will not. This is the internal navigation system kicking in, guiding you toward the decisions that will have the greatest impact. It's a force that cannot be forced or manufactured. It is an authentic call to action, originating from a part of you that understands the timing of life better than your conscious mind. Ignoring it delays the momentum that is ready to carry you forward. There's also a physical element to this urge, a tightening in the chest, a buzzing energy in the body, a sensation that you must move before you explode. It is your intuition manifesting in tangible form, demanding motion. The strange part is that the direction may not always be obvious, and the courage required may feel disproportionate to what you've experienced before. But the very discomfort is proof that growth is imminent. Life rarely accelerates in the comfort zone. The urge is not just a feeling, it is a bridge between where you are and where you are about to be, urging you to cross with full commitment. Acting on this urge requires trust in yourself and in the timing of life. You may feel unsure, afraid of making mistakes, or anxious about consequences, but hesitation now costs more than action. The urge is a signal that conditions have aligned, that clarity, opportunity, and support are already present in ways that may not be immediately obvious. Following it does not guarantee an easy path, but it guarantees alignment with momentum. Your inner push is your compass. guiding you toward the acceleration that has been quietly forming around you, preparing you for the next phase of your life. Finally, the intensity of this urge is a gift, a reminder that life is alive, responsive, and ready to move on your behalf. It is a signal that the quiet season is over and that the fast-moving chapter is about to begin. To resist is to delay progress. To embrace it is to step fully into the flow. The urge is a call to action, a whisper of destiny that has been preparing within you all along. Trust it, honor it, and act on it, because the moment you do, the momentum you've been waiting for will begin to sweep you forward in ways you never imagined. Sometimes life speaks to you in patterns that are too precise to ignore. You start noticing coincidences that feel meaningful, messages in everyday events that seem to confirm you are on the right path. A song lyrics line hits exactly when you need it. A stranger says something that resonates deeply with your current situation. You find yourself in the right place at the right time over and over again. These moments are not random. They are synchronistic signals, showing you that life is aligning behind the scenes, preparing for movement that will feel both sudden and inevitable. Synchronicities have a way of multiplying when you're on the cusp of change. The first few moments may feel subtle, easy to dismiss as chance, but then they start appearing in clusters. Phone calls, meetings, ideas, and opportunities begin converging in ways that cannot be explained by luck alone. You realize that what you've been waiting for is forming all around you, and the universe is sending reminders to guide you forward. These signals are designed to awaken your awareness, to help you recognize that momentum is coming and that the timing is perfect for you to act. What makes synchronicities remarkable is how they point you toward alignment without force. They are not demands, they are invitations. A recurring theme in conversations may reveal a truth you need to acknowledge. A repeated number, a sudden memory, or an unexpected connection might nudge you toward a decision you've been avoiding. Life communicates in symbols, and when you are ready to notice them, you begin to see a tapestry woven with purpose. Each synchronicity is a gentle push, reminding you that the pieces are in place and that your next step will trigger acceleration. These moments also test your attention and awareness. It's easy to miss them if your mind is distracted, overwhelmed, or preoccupied with doubt. But when you are attuned, you see that nothing happens by accident. A casual encounter may lead to opportunity. A fleeting thought may carry the answer you've been seeking. Even challenges may appear synchronistically, nudging you to develop the resilience and clarity you need before life shifts. When you start connecting these dots, you realize that life is always communicating, always guiding, and always moving in your favor when you are ready. Synchronicities are often a reflection of your inner state. When clarity, trust, and intention align within you, the outer world mirrors that readiness. The more aligned you are, the more these meaningful coincidences appear. They act as accelerants, giving you confidence, nudging you into action, and confirming that the path you're on is correct. What once felt like randomness now feels intentional, like the universe itself is conspiring to move you toward your destiny. Every signal builds on the last, forming a pattern you can no longer ignore. Finally, the multiplication of synchronicities is a precursor to momentum. When the signs intensify, when patterns repeat, and when the timing feels uncanny, you know life is